You do say all that?
Hmm?
You do say all that stuff?
I try to. You find as I get older, I don't remember as much as I used to sometimes. Actually, I got some of that stuff.
If you ever got the age of permission to do that. One in the room, then I said, because I don't want to go there. When I had done my first birthday, I chopped him up at the end of the road. This way. Down the driveway, I should say. He does that on the road. He does it on the road. I came there. I have a cousin that lives on the other side. We can go to his house.
All rise. 75th District Court is now in session. The Honorable Michael D. Carpenter presiding.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. All right, we're recording not only on the Zoom, but also at the desks. So microphones, when they're red, it can pick up side conversations. So Mr. Reddick, if you have somebody at the table and you think that you're there, you hit the green. And same with Mr. Burton and Ms. Frederickson. If it's not green, we probably are picking it up even though I can't hear you, the computer can hear you. So that being said, we are on the motion here to revoke bond. Mr. Reddick, are you ready to present evidence?
I am, Your Honor. We'd appreciate the court taking the time to hear this matter. We'd ask that the court would take judicial notice of its own bonds in this matter. I think the last time we were here was for the plea of Ms. Frederickson to the misdemeanor offense, wherein the court had modified the bond to not to have any direct contact with the minor child, that it would be limited to, I believe, telephone or texting. Just by way of a quick opening, Your Honor, it's just that the people believe that there was obviously an attempt here to have direct contact with the child. Obviously, that's ultimately a factual question that the court is going to have to answer with regards to the bond. But I think from refreshing my own memory from what occurred, it would appear that there was good cause for this. And with that, I would call Jonathan Egan.
All right, please come forward, sir. Maybe come right on up here to the podium. And this microphone has to pick you up, so speak loud enough for that, okay? Could you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, sir.
Thank you. Go ahead and have a seat. And sir, you may take your mask down while you're testifying. We do that for court for going to and from. If you're not comfortable, you can leave it up, but you're going to have to really enunciate. All right, Mr. Reddick.
Thank you. Good afternoon, sir. Can you state your name for the record, please?
Jonathan J. Egan.
And Mr. Egan, I understand you have a young son
Yes.
by the name of Dominic.
Yes, sir.
And the mother of that child is Jessie Jo Frederickson, our defendant who's seated next to Mr. Burton. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And how old is Dominic?
Dominic's 8.
And who does Dominic reside with?
He's residing with me right now.
All right. And that's pursuant to the circuit court order in this matter?
Yes, sir.
All right. In fact, you're obviously aware you were the complainant in the matter of People versus Jessie Jo Frederickson, involved, unfortunately, Dominic being tattooed by Ms. Frederickson, correct?
Yes, sir.
And originally you were here, I believe, for the preliminary examination in the morning, correct?
That is correct.
That would have been a date, I think, that takes us back to the morning of May 28th, correct?
That is correct.
So you were here, prepared, ready to proceed, and I believe it was Ms. Frederickson had failed to appear and appeared later in the afternoon. That's your understanding?
That is my understanding. Correct.
You also understand that on that day, she had tendered a plea of guilty to the misdemeanor offense punishable by up to a year in the county jail of the child abuse 4th degree.
Yes.
All right. We advised you of the terms and conditions of the bond, that there was to be no direct contact after that date pursuant to the court's order after the plea, correct?
Yes.
You've asked us to pursue a motion to revoke the bond in that the information we have is that on or about May 30th, there was some contact between yourself and Ms. Frederickson. Is that correct?
Yes.
Could you tell the court your contact with Ms. Frederickson that day with regards to Dominic?
She had called and spoke with Dominic, and had her phone call visit. In the phone call visit, she had stated that she wanted to bring over some things for Dominic, and I think the phone call lasted maybe a half hour or so, and then that was the phone call.
Were you present during the phone call with Dominic, or was he alone in the room?
No, I was present.
All right. And that seemed to be appropriate?
And it was not appropriate for her to bring stuff over, no.
Sure, I understand.
And I recollected that she was not supposed to have no physical contact.
All right. And what information do you have that would indicate that she came over and to your home? You did not invite her, correct?
I did not invite her, correct?
This is after the phone call with Dominic?
After the phone call,
Okay,
yes.
tell the court what happened.
We had left the household for a little bit, and I had a video camera installed at the house, which had her show up to the house, and it shows her in a red Dodge Dakota, and it shows her walking to the porch with things in her hands, and then camera cuts back to her returning to her vehicle. And that was on the 30th.
And do you know what those items were that she left at your home?
She had left a cement angel and paint supplies for my son, Dominic.
Was Dominic home at the time?
He was not, he was with me.
All right. And when you returned home, you discovered this?
Yes.
All right. And from what you saw in the video, it was, in fact, Ms. Frederickson.
Yes.
No question.
No question about it.
How long have you known her?
I've known her now for 9 years.
All right. I understand that on the 3rd, there was some contact again where Ms. Frederickson came to your home.
Yes. On the 3rd, I came home from work. I drove from Clare home, and I had got talking to my neighbors, and I don't know if it would like their names or anything for referral, but 3 of the gentlemen had told me that she had come by the house, sat in front of my driveway, and revved her same pickup truck up to try to get Dominic's attention to either come out to the road and or just have an intention in general to see him.
Right. There would have been no reason for Ms. Frederickson to be at your home.
None whatsoever.
Right.
She was not invited or anything.
And as far as you know, let me ask this, had you had any conversations with Ms. Frederickson about the terms and conditions of the bond?
Yes, we did. At first, she had told me that it was lifted, and then after I had spoke to the prosecuting attorneys and stuff, that is when she had the phone call visit on the 30th, and that she has the no contact, just strictly face-to-face through via phone and or texting.
All right. We've attached as an exhibit to the motion to revoke bond some text messages that you are stating you had with Ms. Frederickson. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And you've had the opportunity to review those and tender those to us?
Yes.
The dates on these would indicate that they occurred, at least one was on Sunday, May 30th, talking about a painted angel. Is that true?
That is what she brought over for our son now. Yes.
Now, this conversation that you've attached in it is, we'd ask, Your Honor, that the court would, at this time, since rules of evidence don't apply, if the court could take notice of the attached exhibit. It's just the one page.
The bubbles, the
At the
bubble
top.
comments, this one here, Mr. Egg.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Any comment, Mr. Burton?
No, Your Honor.
Rules of evidence do not apply at these types of hearings. It will be acknowledged and admitted.
Is this the sum and substance, all of the conversations you had by text with Ms. Frederickson about the bond?
About the bond, yes.
All right. Have you had any conversations with her after these incidents occurred, either after the 30th or after the 3rd, about her coming to your home?
Not about her coming to my home, no.
Okay. Have you had any conversations with her about Dominic?
Yes.
Has she indicated any desire to see Dominic?
Not to me directly, no.
Okay. But to other folks?
To Dominic himself, yes.
And how did she do that?
By telling him, I really want to see you. I really want to see you. I mean, other than that, more or less just, I can't wait to see you. When are we going to see each other? I really miss you. Things like that.
All right. And this was during the phone conversation?
Yes,
All right. Did you see how that affected Dominic?
absolutely.
Did you speak with Ms. Frederickson about that after the fact?
No, because it usually turns into an argument,
Understood.
unfortunately.
Do you, from what you've observed in Dominic, did those requests to see him or his knowledge of her coming to the house, did that affect him in any way, upset him?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
And your understanding of the bond was obviously, this is for the best interest of the child.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. I don't have any other questions, Judge. Thank you.
Cross-examination?
So there, I'm going to backtrack. It looks like there may have been a FaceTime conversation between Dominic and Ms. Frederickson on the 29th. Does that sound correct?
I do believe that was, yes.
Okay.
the day
A Saturday, maybe?
Yes, Saturday.
Okay. Now, you listened to that conversation, correct?
Yes.
During the course of that conversation, was there something brought up about an angel?
Yes.
Okay. And what was that conversation about?
That she had wanted to bring the angel over for Dominic to paint.
Okay. And did Dominic want her to bring this angel over? Did he mention the angel at all?
Nope.
Okay. And then on Sunday, May 30th, you received a text message from Ms. Frederickson about 2:37 in the afternoon talking about the angel bringing it over and having him paint it. Does that sound correct?
She had stated that she dropped the angel off, yes.
Yeah, not a direct quote, but something to that effect, right? Okay. And then at 2:43, she indicated that she grabbed him paint. I'll be dropping it off here soon if that's okay. Does that sound correct?
I do believe that's what she texted me,
Okay.
yes.
Did you text back?
No, I did not.
Did you call her at all after that?
No, when we spoke on the 29th, I had told her that she's not supposed to be here, which turned into more or less a 5-minute bicker between the two of us.
And on May 30th, you came a point in time when you found the angel on your front porch. Is that what I remember right?
Yes, it was on the front porch, and then the painting supplies were on back.
Okay. And when those were dropped off at the home, were you or Dominic present when that happened?
Not when she had brought it over, no.
Okay. Haven't been to your house. How many vehicles do you have?
I have 2 on the road, and I have 1 in the driveway.
Okay. Is there one that you use most of the time?
Yep, I have my personal vehicle. My wife has her van.
Okay. And so on that day, if someone had driven by, could they have seen, I don't know if you have a garage or not, the vehicle's inside a garage? You
No,
said
sir,
two on the road.
sits right out on the
Okay.
driveway.
So someone who comes up can see whether or not the vehicles are there. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
And frankly, would Ms. Frederickson know which vehicle you normally drive?
Yep. She knows exactly which I drive for both vehicles.
You mentioned a video that you
Yes.
have. Do you still have the video?
I do not, unfortunately. I have a Blink home security system and was not aware that you have to set the date before it gets deleted. There's certain criteria for, there's no cloud for it. And so I just switched all my home security over for 180-day surveillance just in case if this would ever happen again.
And then you mentioned the incident on June 3rd, a vehicle's engine revving, correct?
Yes, her pickup truck.
But you didn't see that either. Do I remember that correctly?
I didn't, but my wife and the kids that were in the house did.
Okay. Did they indicate to you that they saw that Ms. Frederickson was the driver of that vehicle?
That she was the driver? No. But it was the same vehicle that she had showed up in and the same one that I've seen her with plenty of times.
Is that a vehicle that she's normally driving?
One of the few that she has. She has a Blazer. She has a red pickup truck. Depending on what she's doing is what vehicle she has.
With regards to the video, were you able to see whether there was someone else in the vehicle with Ms. Frederickson or was she alone, if you recall?
I could not see inside the vehicle by any means.
Other than the incident on or about June 3rd, have there been any other incidents?
As far as her coming by the house, yes, there's possibly been more as far as her just showing up in one of her vehicles driving around.
No incidents where anything's been left at the house, correct?
She has not stepped foot on the property, as my knowledge, no.
Let me guess now. The video equipment now works so that if she did, you'd be able to record and keep that information. Is that correct?
I actually got more cameras to actually see down the road, because Dominic does shoot basketball hoops in the drive and at the end of the driveway in the road with his brothers. And I set that up for the simple fact that I just don't want him to run out into the road if he does get the attention of his mother and stuff like that.
Okay, I have nothing further.
Any redirect?
I have none. Thank you, Joe.
All right, may this witness be excused?
We asked that he would be.
Any objection?
No.
You may go or stay, but you can't stay in that seat. Any other witnesses, Mr. Reddy?
No, I have no further proofs, Judge. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Burton, do you wish to place any evidence on?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm sorry. At this time, I'd like to call Ms. Frederickson to the stand.
Okay. Ms. Frederickson, come right on up. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly, this is the microphone you have to speak loud enough for. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead and have a seat.
Please, all right, please state your name and spell your last name for the record.
Jesse Joe Frederickson, Frederickson.
We were in court together on or about May 28th. Do you remember that?
Yes,
And at that court date, the court changed the no contact provisions. Is that also correct?
correct,
And by that, I mean specifically with Dominic, correct?
correct.
And you understood, what did you understand when you left here, what the court ruling was?
Then I'm only allowed to have texts, phone calls, and FaceTime until probation cleared CPS.
Okay. And
Ms.
You had
Frederickson,
face-
can I please have you move closer to the microphone?
Yes,
you had FaceTime contact with Dominic on or about May 29th, is that correct?
correct.
And during the course of that conversation, did an angel come up?
Yes.
And what was the conversation about with regards to the angel?
His grandma's memorial was coming up. So I got him an angel. He asked me if I would drop it off, and I had told him when would be a good time, so that way I wouldn't have contact with him. And he said Sunday around 3 o'clock because he wasn't going to be home.
Okay. And so did you drop the angel off at his home Sunday, on that Sunday?
I didn't personally, but I was with somebody that did drop it off. yes.
Okay. And what time did that occur roughly, if you remember?
Oh, about 3:30-ish, 3:40-ish.
And did you have a conversation with Mr. Egan prior to that about
Yes.
dropping it off? And did he give you permission to?
Yes, he did.
Okay. And if I may, who was with you that day?
Jolyn Stark.
And who took the angel from the vehicle to the front porch?
Jolyn Stark.
Okay. And did you exit the car at any point that day?
No,
Let me back up a little bit. Who was driving?
I was.
Did you pull into a driveway?
No,
Okay. Where did you park the vehicle so Jolyn could exit the vehicle?
on the side of the road.
Is that something you normally do in this case?
Yes, because every other day I'm allowed there and I'm not.
What do you mean by that?
Like once I'll be allowed there, next day I won't be allowed there. But back in April, I believe it was the 2nd or the 3rd, I went there to attempt to get my child. And Jonathan called the police on me and he told me that I was not allowed to be on that property no more, to never step foot on it. And I have not since.
Okay. You heard Mr. Egan testify that others had told him that a vehicle, matching a vehicle that he knows you to have driven, went by the home on June 3rd. Do you remember that?
I did not go by that home on June 3rd.
What kind of vehicle do you normally drive?
I know one Chevy Blazer.
What color is it?
Silver, creamish color. It's got primer paint on it too.
Not red, is it?
No, it's out in the parking lot.
Okay. What vehicle were you in on May 29th?
I was in a blue Chevy truck.
Blue Chevy truck? Is that your vehicle?
No.
Okay. So have you driven by the home since June 3rd at any point?
No,
Why not?
there's really no reason to.
Are you still having contact via FaceTime with Dominic?
When Jonathan allows me.
When you went to the home on May 29th, did you think there was any possibility of having direct contact with Dominic?
No,
Why not?
because I was told he wasn't gonna be home.
Who told you that?
Jonathan,
And when did he tell you that?
on the FaceTime.
On the 29th?
Oh, 29th, we just FaceTimed. I never went there.
Excuse me. When did John tell you that he and Dom wouldn't be at the home?
29th during the FaceTime.
Okay. I have nothing further.
Cross exam?
Ms. Frederickson, just so I'm clear, you heard Mr. Eaton testify.
Yes,
All right. And you would agree that your two testimonies are directly opposed with regards to whether you went to the porch or not. Is that
Correct.
true? All right. And you're here today and you realize you're under oath, correct?
correct.
And you're saying in no way, shape, or form, since this has occurred, since you were last in court, you did not go up to his porch or go on his property.
Correct.
When you spoke with your young son, and he's a nice boy.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's a very nice
He's a
boy.
sweetheart.
Very handsome. When you spoke with him, did you indicate to him that you wished to see him?
I mean, yes,
Do you think that was probably a good thing to discuss with the boy?
I mean, it lets him know that I still want him in my life.
Understood. All right. And I understand you're a mom.
Yes,
I get that. All right. Did you have any reaction to that you could tell?
no,
All right. I don't have anything further. Thank you, Judge.
Any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Go ahead and step back down. Any other witnesses or proof?
If I may, 1 minute.
Yes.
I have. All right, this time I'll call Jolene start for this today.
All right, come on up here, please. Right here in front of the podium.
Oh,
I'll
sorry.
swear you in. That's okay. This is the microphone. You have to speak loud enough for it to pick up, okay? Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give is the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
yes.
See the witness chair. You can have your mask down if you're comfortable enough. If not, you can leave it up. But
I'll leave it
you have to speak pretty clearly, okay?
Okay.
Jolene, please state your name, spell your last name for the record.
Jolene Stark, Stark.
I believe you can take your mask off if you
I
want.
think she wanted to have it up.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed that.
It's okay.
No, you swore an oath to tell the truth, correct?
Yes,
You understand that anything you say in this courtroom could be used against you, right? You understand that? You understand lying under oath to a court can be cause for criminal charges to be brought against you. You understand that?
yes,
You understand you have the right not to incriminate yourself. In other words, you don't have to testify if you don't want to. Okay, do you understand that?
yes.
All right. So on May 29th of 2021, where were you at about 3 p.m?
I don't remember if it was the 29th or the 30th, but I
Okay.
did go drop something off.
Okay. When you went to drop something off, what was it that you were dropping off?
A statue, a cement statue.
Okay,
An
and
angel.
was anyone with you that day?
No.
So you went by yourself to drop off the statue?
Yes,
Okay. And what kind of vehicle were you in that day?
a blazer.
And I'm assuming since you're the only one in the vehicle, you must have been driving the Blazer.
Yes,
What color is the Blazer?
brown, tan.
Tan? And so you drove a tan Blazer to, I'm just gonna say Mr. Egan's address, is that correct?
Yes,
How did you know to get there?
I've been there.
Okay. And when you got there, when you arrived at that point, what did you do, if anything?
Got out and set it on the porch
Okay. And when you say you got out, where did you park your vehicle?
in the driveway.
Okay. And after you dropped off the angel, what did you do then?
Left.
Okay, just got back in your vehicle and left at that point? Did you come back to the property at all that day?
No, sir.
Have you been back to the property since that day?
No.
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Cross-examination, Mr. Reddick?
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Stark, how did it come that it was arranged for you to drop this material off?
Because Jesse asked me to.
Jesse being Ms. Frederickson?
Yes.
Okay. And when did she ask you to do that?
The same day, I believe.
And where were you when that conversation took place?
What do you mean? Where was she, in front of me or on a telephone? Is that what you're asking me?
Where did this conversation take place? Is it on the phone? Was it text? Was it face-to-face?
I believe we were standing right next to each other because she was on the phone with Don
Okay. Where were you at when this occurred?
at my house.
You're at your home? And Ms. Frederickson, you said was on the phone with Dom?
Mm-hmm.
That would be Dominic, the little boy?
Yes.
All right. And you were present during that phone conversation between her enough to where you could hear what was being said?
Yes.
All right. And I'm assuming that there was the discussion of this angel, correct?
Yes.
How did it come that you took the angel over to the Egan home?
Because Jesse asked me to.
All right. And do you know about what time of day that was?
I don't remember what time of day it was.
Was it light out?
Yes.
So it was during the daytime?
Yes.
And was there anything else other than the angel that you dropped off?
Paint and paintbrush in a bag.
This vehicle that you drove, is it one that you own or that is in your possession?
It's in my name, yes.
And again, what type of vehicle was it?
It's a Blazer.
And the color?
Tan. Or it's light brown. I don't know what color you really call it.
Right. All right. Light brown sometime. Do you know if Mr. Egan do you know Mr. Egan?
No, I don't know.
You don't know Mr. Egan?
Mm-mm.
All right. So how did you know how to get to his home?
I've been there. I've dropped Dom off before.
All right. So help me understand. You brought Dom to that home?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
And for what purpose?
Because it was his time to go back with his dad.
I see. So you were dropping him off again for Ms. Frederickson.
Yeah, I was with Jesse at that time when I went there. That's how I knew where he lived. I didn't know where he
Okay. So
lived.
would it be fair to say that you knew that home as being Dom's parents' home?
Yes.
Dom's dad's home?
Yes.
Okay. And Ms. Frederickson asked you to take the angel and the paint to Dom's dad's home,
Yes.
and you did that.
Yes.
Where was Mrs. Frederickson when this occurred?
I don't know where she was.
Where did you leave her presence that day?
Well, we was at my mom's house in Sanford, which is right down the road from his house.
All right. And then she gave you the angel and the paints and you dropped them off.
Yes.
All right. And she was not with you?
No.
You went up to the porch?
Yep.
All right. Did you see any camera there?
I didn't pay attention.
Didn't pay attention?
No.
Okay. And you said you never met Mr. Egan before?
No.
All right. So Mr. Egan would not let me ask you this. In your mind, is there any way he would mistake you for Jesse?
Not that I know of.
All right. There's no reason to think that you guys look so much alike that the man who's the father of his child would mistake you for her?
No.
Okay. That's a fair answer, and I appreciate it. I don't have anything else, Judge.
Any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
I have a few questions. Were you at your mom's house or at your house?
My mom's house is my house.
You live with your mom?
Yes. In Sanford.
Jesse was visiting?
Yes.
How'd she get to your house?
Well, we went there together.
From her house?
No, we was just riding around.
You were just riding around.
I don't know what we were doing that day.
You
but-
don't know what you were doing that day? But you ended up over at your house.
Yeah, I go there daily. I'm there daily.
So do you live there or you just go there daily?
Well, I live there.
You
I'm
live
always there.
So how did you and Jesse get together that day?
Well, she uses the Blazer too.
She uses the Blazer too.
Yes.
Your Blazer?
Yes. Well, it's her Blazer. It's just in my name.
Her Blazer in your name. And you say on that day, you were together at your mom's house. Did you leave Jesse at your mom's house then?
Yes,
And then you went over to Mr. Egan's house to drop off this angel.
yes.
How did you and Jesse get together the very first time that day? If you're at your house, you're staying at your mom's house. Jesse doesn't live with you, right?
She drove the Blazer.
She drove the Blazer to your place.
Yes.
Where was the angel at?
Well, she brought it to me in the Blazer.
Okay. Any reason why Jesse would say that she drove that day?
No.
Any reason why Jesse would say that she parked in the street and not in the driveway?
No.
Because that didn't happen. It was you. So if she testified under oath that she drove the Blazer that day and parked it out in the street because she'd been trespassing the house, she'd be lying under oath then, is what you're saying.
Yes.
So she's lying under oath and not you.
No, I am.
You are. She drove, didn't she?
Yes.
She asked you to lie?
No.
Why would you lie under oath when you
I
were
don't
given?
know.
Do you know perjury is a felony?
Yes.
Mr. Burton tried to keep you from lying under oath. How can I trust anything you say when you lie?
You can't.
Well, Mr. Reddy, you're going to have to figure out what you're going to do with that one. She can be excused.
Thank you.
That's a risk when you decide you're going to lie for somebody. You should be held in contempt. Why shouldn't I have the deputies take you to jail?
I don't know.
You were trying to mislead the court because you didn't want Jesse to get in trouble, right?
True.
And you were willing to lie to me to have that happen. 3 days contempt. Katrina, can you bring down the sheriff's deputy and have them arrest and take the defendant now to jail, Miss Jolynn Stark, who decides to lie under oath? I don't know if she'll be charged with perjury or not, but she's going to see what the jail looks like. Go ahead and have a seat in the jury box.
Can I give Jesse my phone?
What's that?
Can I give Jesse my stuff in my pocket?
Nope, you need to have what you have and let the deputies decide. Any other witnesses, Mr. Burton?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay. Argument, Mr. Reddick.
Your Honor, I believe, based upon the circumstances the court presented here, is that obviously I don't think Mr. Egan would have any motivation to lie and come in here. Actually, I think was quite straightforward with his own testimony about what occurred and what he saw with regards to the recording. It's unfortunate he doesn't have it, but I think when we look here as to the situation that Ms. Stark just didn't appear here magically. I believe she was obviously brought here by Ms. Frederickson to present some type of alibi for her, and seems to have forgotten her alibi. So I would ask the court to discount entirely her testimony and find that Mr. Eaton's testimony is compelling in this case. We'd ask that the court would consider granting our motion to revoke the bond.
Thank you. Mr. Burton?
Your Honor, I would ask that the court find that my client didn't violate a strict interpretation of the no contact provision that this court had ordered on or about May 28th of 2021, because she had no direct contact with Dominic other than contact that was allowed by this court. Assuming, and I'm going to strictly assume that, frankly, for purposes of argument today, that Mr. Egan is accurate, that there was no possibility, since he was not home at the time the item was left on the front doorstep. So there was no possibility for Ms. Frederickson to come into contact with Dominic, which was barred by this court under its order. So I would ask that the court find for that reason there's no violation. Thank you.
All right. Give me hang on just a second, Deputy. I want I'd like her to hear the outcome of this. I'm sorry, I didn't tell you that ahead of time. So it's clear that, to me, that Mr. Egan would not, I mean, even Ms. Stark, I don't think she lied about everything. She certainly decided to lie for her friend, even though her friend was willing to be able to tell the truth in some parts as to what was going on. She acknowledged that she was the driver of the vehicle. She acknowledged that she parked on the street because Mr. Egan had told her before she was not to be there. And quite frankly, she testified that there was some mistrust she has for Mr. Egan regarding that he wouldn't call the police on her one time and not call the police another time. She wasn't able to relay that information, unfortunately, for Ms. Stark in time for her to not lie under oath to the court to try to save her friend, when her friend basically said, I was the driver, I went there, but I didn't go put the things on the porch. Problem is, I got one liar. Now things don't make sense. Why would you have somebody drive and then have them go put it on the porch? Would make more plausible sense for Ms. Stark to drive and take the Angel over there. And the text message from Ms. Frederickson says, I don't know why you're lying and saying I was at your house when Dom was that. And I think she meant to say there. When Dom was, that shit can stop. That's her language, not mine, by the way. So it's clear Ms. Frederickson thought that she could have contact or drop stuff off, not contact with Dominic, because I wasn't clear. Well, I will be now. No contact, no telephone, no FaceTime, no letters, no nothing. No contact. And it's strange that I'm going to change the bond and not send her to jail, because I think she actually testified truthfully that she was the one that was driving the car and her friend lied. So how strange is that? Ms. Stark goes to jail while Ms. Frederickson doesn't go to jail. Think about that and how your friend interacted with it. Now you go to jail. Now she can go. So Ms. Frederickson now doesn't get a chance to talk to her son until after the sentencing, and she screwed over her friend. I think that that's justice for today. We'll be adjourned.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Your Honor, we had a 3 o'clock with Mr. Bose.
Did he appear?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Calling case now of People State of Michigan versus Anthony Bose, file 210240FY. Counsel, identify yourself for the record.
Leland Burton for Anthony Bose, Your Honor.
All right. Today's time and date set for a show cause. Mr. Burton, I know that you were just in the last hearing, but have you had an opportunity to have any contact with Mr. Bose today?
No, Your Honor, I have not had contact with Mr. Bose, quite frankly, since he absconded since the last court dates.
Okay. We had an order to show cause hearing held. Cozy Bond requested 3 additional days. That was in May. And then we issued a notice to appear. Bond at this time apparently is one posted. So bond will be forfeited. The defendant has failed to appear. Bench warrant will issue immediately. We'll be adjourned. Thank you.
Yeah.